Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cookies Enabled. I am Will, your host, and next to me here is my editor, Andrew, and his cat just jumped up in the window in the background there. But we are bringing you the news today. Lots of interesting stuff to talk about, tech-wise, that came up in the last couple of days, kind of affecting a huge portion of people in the world in a lot of different ways. Lots of new things going on. So we're going to kind of be jumping all over the place today. Hopefully we'll get some extra viewers today. If this is the first time you guys are watching our channel, we definitely release every other week on Monday a main episode, as well as we do a weekly episode every Wednesday, so at noon. So we just hopefully you guys are tuning in and enjoying our show. I think really we got a bunch of things to start with. I don't even know where to start, actually. I guess we'll start with the hacker, since this is probably the biggest one. And I'm sure everybody's kind of probably heard something about this. What's up?
Quickly to mention that with the videos going up every other Monday, we were supposed to have one this Monday.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
I completely dropped the ball on that. It's supposed to be our first COVID episode. That one is taking me quite a while to work on. I'm getting there. There were some big changes at my job this week. As everybody knows, I just moved up to Northern Michigan, started working at really nice little local pizza place here, and the general manager quit, and so I had to take over that position without really any notice. So it's been a bit of a crazy week for me.
Oh yeah.
I'm happy for my new position. It's a lot of work, but we're having a lot of fun.
Right.
So still working on it. We've got a few random day discoveries that are coming out.
Oh, yeah.
I've got one a bit filmed. There's a drawbridge up here that I want to get some good footage of. I'd like that to be a full episode eventually. Right. Apparently, the bridge operator says I need to contact MDOT, the Michigan Department of Transportation, to get approval for what I can or cannot record.
Wow.
But it would be cool. The guy said if they allow it, he'd take me down to show me all of the inner workings, all the hydraulics, electric motors.
That's what we want to see.
I short video with that, maybe get that up in a day or two so you guys have some content. Right. But in the next week or two, the COVID one will be up. It's just taking some time.
Right. I'm also behind on my filming. And I'm way behind. We were like 6 episodes ahead at one point. I think we're like 1 episode ahead now. So I've got a lot of work to do on my side as well. So bear with us, everyone. We're really doing our best. These What's New Wednesdays episodes are a lot more current news. And what we're doing in the main episodes might be stuff you already kind of know, but we're just going into way more detail and way more of the science, who created it, where did it come from, you know, the whole backstory kind of thing.
At least once a week we can bring you something.
So this is just kind of little news clips and things that we can touch on and explain how technology or science or any of these things are all somehow linked. And that's where our first story picks up, which is issues with gas prices and hackers. And oh my gosh, this is a big one, and I think this is something we're probably going to need to get used to, mainly because our infrastructure is needs to be updated. I'll just say that. And this is a good example. So this pipeline connects pretty much or fuels, I should say, the entire eastern seaboard, especially more the southern seaboard. Than the north. Up here in Michigan, we're kind of in that boat. Our gas prices went up about 15 cents. We were about $2.50. Now we're about $2.75, $2.80. In some places it is $2.99, but I mean that's still pretty reasonable. Technically, that would be inflation. You know, it's about the price of milk. It's a little about maybe double the price of a loaf of bread. So that's a bit much. But yeah, really what happened is that this pipeline computer system, the main computer system, I should say, was hacked by ransomware, which is technically malware, which...
well, they stole 100 gigs of data, and basically, as it said, they held it for ransom.
Which means you have to pay these hackers money to get that data back, and there's no guarantee they won't just get right back into the computer, relock it down, take another 100 gigs of data, and do the exact same thing again, which is usually how this situation goes, especially if you don't have a good tech department or any way to there are ways to decrypt these drives, but it can take years and sometimes 3 or 4 times the amount of money that these ransomware people are even asking for. So in most cases, the company will just pay right up. This is a government kind of situation, though, because this is more like Homeland Security. It's affecting literally the entire gas flow for the entire eastern seaboard of the United States. In fact, I guess as we were going to point out here in my news article, I'll pull this up. This is the New York Times. They are talking about this, and I guess in Florida, it's been a big deal. They've run out of gas down there. They've had a lot of gas shortages, stations that are completely out, and just huge lines of people waiting to get gas. And this just goes on and on. I mean, it's affecting pretty much everybody. So this, if you're wondering why gas kept going up, it wasn't because of, just people are driving more and the COVID is ending or whatever. No, it actually had nothing to do with any of that. In fact, none of that is true. It has everything to do with pretty much hackers. And I don't even know if this is officially any particular country, if this was like Russia or Japan or China or anybody. I mean, I don't know. I think it's just one type of group of people, probably in all countries, that work together to spread this ransomware. And they particularly attack, big companies like this, as well as companies that would be maybe supplying water to a town, or maybe even filtering the water for a town. Might have a computer running Windows XP and forgot Service Pack 3 or something like that, and some critical updates, and poof, now you're hacked and you've got ransomware on your machine. There's no way to get it undone. These guys can do whatever they want to the water system. These are unfortunately new scares and new ways for terrorism to kind of just hit our borders, and unfortunately, without tons of money being thrown at the infrastructure to update these systems, nothing's really going to change. And I'm really saddened by that. So definitely want to point that out to people. I know you're all feeling it out there. I know North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Texas, Missouri, everybody attached to that chain is feeling it. So I'm really sorry. I really hope I know the governments are doing their best right now. At least they're trying anyway. So we'll see. But thank you, New York Times, for that article. That was very enlightening. They did a great job, I thought, keeping an open mind, especially when it comes to this type of hack. This is a big deal, and I thought they did a good job kind of keeping the lid tight and not making it sound too crazy. If that's the best way I can phrase this, because it really is radical. Yeah.
Well, I think the only lucky thing out of this is, I mean, it does show the actual pipeline infrastructure is still pretty secure. Like, the hackers didn't get in and turn off the pipeline themselves.
No, they didn't do nothing. Actually, they did that to prevent further hacking.
Yeah, to contain the threat,
which is exactly
to make sure that,
what you want to do.
They basically took all their servers offline to make sure that nothing else could be stolen, which is smart. But unfortunately, if you take all of your control servers offline, that means you can't control
anything.
The flow of gas.
that was your control line.
Apparently, DarkSide, the group that is claiming responsibility, they are based out of Russia, but they tend to only attack English-speaking nations for some reason.
Yeah, it did say that this particular virus avoids Russian machines. So if you know Russian, set your computer to Russian and you'll be fine.
I doubt that, but
it's worth a shot.
I mean, this isn't Russia attacking the U.S. or anything. It's a company based in Russia attacking another company. So there's nothing, political.
No,
it's not.
This is not a political.
It's nothing like what happened with some of the elections or anything. It's just this is. I mean, apparently they've been doing this for years. This company, DarkSide, going after.
Yeah, this isn't new.
They went after. Apparently, they somehow have a weird set of morals, though.
What do you mean? I mean, doesn't that go with the territory?
Well, they say that they've changed their rules over the years. They no longer attack funeral services, medicine, or companies that develop and participate in the distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine.
Okay, but you just shut off a gas line, which is going to affect all of the
Yeah,
things you listed. I'm sorry, that doesn't
they
work for
say our
me.
goal is to make money and not create problems for society, which is kind of what they're
That's exactly
doing.
what they're doing. If you're
But
hacking, you're causing a problem for society. It's literally in the
well, at the
definition.
same,
Well, almost. I mean,
I'm guessing they didn't expect the Colonial Pipeline
be
to
shut down. No.
take its servers down, though. So their hack really would have just been to steal all of this data
Right.
and make money and give it back. So I get that
I
I wouldn't
guess.
call it a victimless crime, but that wouldn't necessarily be a problem for
Sure.
society. It's
Sure.
how Pipeline reacted, which you'd think this hacker group would have thought, hey, what are the repercussions? What
Yeah,
are
what
they
are
going to
they going to
do?
do when we do this is what they should have thought.
I guess give them some points for not messing with funerals, medicine, and
I mean,
COVID. We'll give them that.
yeah, kudo. You get one kudo from me, I guess. I don't know. That doesn't seem like much of a pullback when you're affecting a broad spectrum of an entire East coastline. And again, I see where you're coming from. Where they didn't know the company is going to shut that down. True,
They just wanted
but
money from the
if
company.
really, I mean, if this is what it's boiling down to, and if this is just a petty, it's sticks and stones and thieves and
Yeah.
robbers and all. It's I feel like it's the Wild West with the internet right now, and they feel like they can kind of
Oh, it definitely
you know
is.
go for that train, take it out, and you just took down the one train line that connects everything on the East Coast together. Well done. That's pretty much what happened there.
And also, I even shutting down the pipeline though, I don't think it would have been as
No.
big of an issue if people were, you know, had actually learned from last year in the toilet paper hoarding
Right?
and just went about their day as normal.
Yes.
Like you can still get gas to these places. Prices will still go up a bit.
Just don't
But I've seen
overbuy.
photos
That's
of
the other
people
issue.
filling 20 gas cans and putting them
Thank
into their
you.
car.
Yes, you can't
Like
do that. No, bad
most people,
consumer.
yeah, it's some places still have a good lockdown, so just stay
Right.
home, drive when you need
Yeah,
to.
just
You're
essential
can't
driving.
you're for a lot of people, I think their tank is going to get them
Right.
through a week or so.
I mean, I
Maybe
feel
not,
unless you're
but
driving like a sports
yeah,
car or you got to go. I mean, it depends on where you live too. Some people live in rural areas and it takes 20 minutes just to get anywhere normal. So I get your situation there, but again, you still don't need 20 gas cans to. I mean, this isn't going to last forever. They're literally going to have this pipeline up by the end of the week. So this isn't a
exactly. They just
huge
had to shut down the
delay,
service
and
to
people are like
that.
panic buying, like they're not going to have gas till the end of the summer. I mean, this is really bizarre to me. So I'm really sorry to see consumers reacting in such a negative way to a hack that meant to be something good, which ended up backfiring on them and turned out to be this massive snowball avalanche effect, essentially.
Just stop panic
Don't
buying
hack.
everything. Don't need to panic buy
Yeah,
ever.
it's just not worth it.
It,
I'm
it makes
sorry.
things worse on everything, and I want people to understand that that has a that has a worse
Yeah.
effect on goods and services than just get a little bit extra, but
Yep. Yep.
again, you don't need 5 bundles of 36 rolls of toilet paper.
No.
You don't need 20 cans of gas.
Right.
Just if anything, go top off your tank,
Exactly.
grab an extra thing of toilet paper. You will be fine.
And it's as simple as that. So yeah, and when it comes to hackers, update, update your systems. If you're running Windows XP, what shame on you, okay? I know. We had a little off the air talk about this. Yes, if you're running, a little, point of systems, machine, and this is not connected too directly to the World Wide Web, yeah, you can have that running, Linux, Ubuntu, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like you can put whatever you want on that because it's not connected to anything
Well,
that's going to
that's
get hacked unless you, thumb drive directly into it and do something like that.
oh
So
hell, Linux is better than XP at that
yeah,
point.
exactly,
But
exactly. But this
I
isn't.
mean, a lot of places, their servers are still running older versions of Windows,
Yep.
but they do nothing but just keep the data and shuttle it around where it needs to
Right.
go. That's perfectly
Right.
fine. A home system or something that's maintaining a database, though, they should be updated.
Yes.
Most of them are running some sort of Linux, or at least in a major company, or they're
Absolutely.
running something weird like Solaris
Solaris,
or
yes, or
proprietary
Zura, or
operating system.
I think
But
Watson's doing a
for
bunch of server work
yourself,
too now. So IBM Watson's out there as well. Um,
for a home user,
yeah,
though, yeah, update to the
update,
most, yeah,
please.
update.
It's not a
It,
push to get more money, okay? They wouldn't, Apple wouldn't be giving you free updates. Microsoft wouldn't be giving you free updates if they didn't want you to have these updates. Like, they're not trying to get more information out of you. It's not a way for them to hack you. It's a way to keep you, the consumer, protected while you're using their product. It's like if the car company that you had came to you and said, "Oh my goodness, those tires are going to explode. We got to get different tires on there," which actually happened with the Ford Explorer, and they called it the Ford Exploder for a while. And so,
I remember that,
yes.
or the Firestone incident back in the 90s. That was a huge deal. Just, yeah,
Click the update.
update your antivirus, update your system, change your passwords once in a while, use two-factor authentication. Don't click on fishy links. It's the
Yeah,
basics
if you don't,
of
yeah,
internet
it
security.
is. It doesn't take
It's not,
a genius, unfortunately.
they get
The
caught
really
up.
sad thing is that a lot of geniuses get stuck with the ransomware crap. And it's just because it is very easily disguised as legitimate software or updates, like those Java pop-ups they used to have. I'm so glad that's gone.
Yep.
I don't even have Java
When you
installed,
go to
so
a
you try to
website,
tell me my Java's out of date. Of course it is. I don't even have it on here anymore. Like, I don't have Flash installed anymore. I don't need it. You don't need it anymore. Take it off your computer. Just uninstall. It'll probably give you a pop-up like, "Are you sure?" Yeah, I'm sure. Yes, I don't want more
well, the one I see
viruses.
most are people always saying, "Oh, my Facebook got hacked." And usually, no, your Facebook did not get hacked
It was your
in the way that
email.
most people think. What
Well, in most cases.
what usually happens in my experience that I've seen, someone clicks a link or a pop-up or something, and it takes them to a page that looks just like
Right.
Facebook.
It tells you
It says
log
you have
in.
been logged out of
Yeah.
Facebook for some reason. Please log back in to continue. Once you log back in, they have your information. They have your login information. It reroutes you back to your real
Right.
page. But now, and all it is, it's just spam. So it can send this link to a bunch of people, usually just so that more people see the site
Right.
and they get ad money from it. So it's not really going to do anything, but
It might just slow you down
those
to be
that
annoying. Yeah.
software, if it has the Facebook info, it can get all the rest of the info needed for credit cards. So if these days, especially if you're using Facebook on a smartphone, especially,
Right.
it's never going to, or I mean, rare circumstances, but chances are it's never going to log you out of the Facebook app
No.
and ask you to log back in.
Yeah.
So if you ever see that, don't do
Yeah.
it.
Just hit
It's
the
fake.
back
Change
button,
the password
cancel.
immediately.
Maybe your friend did the little like, "Oh, take a picture and see what you look like in 30 years or whatever kind of thing." And that's
Or
where I've seen the
the one
pop-ups before.
I the ones that frustrate me more than anything, it's like, oh, what do they say? Those like your superhero or
Oh.
your stripper name or whatever the is your grandma's first name plus the type of plus your last car or something. Because when you forget your
Right.
password, they always ask you thing. You always they're hoping that that's one of your security
Right.
questions, like what was your grandmother's maiden name? If they have that and your type of car that most people use, there's a good chance they could get your
It's not too tricky
information.
to figure that
So
stuff out. Yeah.
I always see these posts with hundreds, thousands of comments. Oh yeah, grandma's first name was this, and
Yep.
like that they're fishing for your security
Yeah, they pretty
answers.
much are. Yeah, they're
Don't
trying to
do it.
get that stuff from you. So it's really tricky these days. It might be fun, but it's definitely dangerous. So just be careful out there, everybody. And this is exactly what can happen: viruses, malware, ransomware. Oh, fun, crazy stuff. And then no gas, or really, really expensive gas. Like ours.
Yeah.
It's like about $3 a gallon, which isn't really expensive, but I mean, it was going down there for a minute, and then all of a sudden it jumped up, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then, so yeah, fun stuff. But anyway, let's move on. We got other things to talk about here. we have this drone video. Let's jump to that really quick. Oh, actually, wait. Did you upload the SN15 for me? Because I have not linked that yet.
I did. Go with the drone first, though.
Okay,
This is
let's
fun.
jump to the drone video. I've got that on here. There we go.
So
there it is.
There have been some photographers and researchers in Iceland that have been they've been photographing and researching all of these volcanoes. I know we had one.
Right.
What? It wasn't even that long
No.
ago, within the last decade, that had erupted.
Like,
And then another one just recently. I'm not going to try to pronounce the names. Unfortunately, Andy's not down here to do it perfectly. But
maybe he'll come. If he's back later, I want to hear him.
this new one, it's the Gelding Adalir volcano. I probably butchered that. The photographer, though, Garthur Olafs. That's pretty close. He kind of taught me how to pronounce that earlier.
Right.
But he's been photographing this for, I think he had like a 6-week stint going through there, and on his last day, he sacrificed his drone to get some cool footage
Which
that you
totally
can see right here.
it.
The drone is above this, looking down and recording this, and it actually managed to stay recording and filming for quite a while, a lot longer than he thought. But he said he took the drone, he lowered it. He says, I slowly lowered the drone until all I could see was erupting lava. And when I looked up, I didn't see the drone anymore.
Oh my God.
It finally melted, but it got us this amazing footage. And I'll tell you what, this, for how long it lasted, this is some pretty good PR material for DJI.
Oh my God.
The company that makes all of the Mavics, because this was shot DJI, I think it's the DJI Phantom drone. So high quality professional drone.
Absolutely.
But if it lasts this long near a volcano, that's some pretty good quality equipment.
Yeah, it is.
And I'll bet if they are publicly traded that their stock went up after this, just from this shows the quality. I'm just going to go out on a limb and guess that it's made from old recycled Nokia phones. It's got to be indestructible.
Those things were pretty much, I know exactly what you're talking about too. If you flash back to any movie from like 2005 and before, you'll see Nokia phones everywhere because they were the primary cell phone to buy until the iPhone came out. And then everything changed. Now nobody's even Nokia is actually owned by Microsoft, I think. Oh, maybe I'm wrong by that. That might be, maybe they're partnered. I can't remember. I thought they bought Nokia, but I could be wrong.
I think they may have, but either way, this footage is just
so
incredible.
Cool.
Like,
so cool.
Volcanoes are cool to begin with, but to get footage like this,
I mean, I would hate to lose my drone.
With that sort of explosion is.
I feel like they should be sending him one.
I really hope that we find out on Twitter in a day or two that they just give him a new drone. Like, that was awesome. Yep. Here's one on us, because if I were the CEO, I'd be on the phone with him immediately, saying, "What would you like from us? Yeah. We will give you anything you want."
I mean,
or pay him to travel the world and get more photos like this and video. And I don't care how many drones he destroys. It's pretty sweet. Another photographer in Iceland as well, one of the other volcanoes. One of his actually survived, which I thought was really cool.
Huh. Sorry, give me 1 second here.
That was the Fagradalsfjall volcano. Who was that guy's name? Something Steinbeck. So that's a lot easier name to pronounce. But he managed to keep his far enough away. Again, this wasn't an accident, though. Olaf did this on purpose. He knew it was his last day. He wanted to kind of, go out with a bang. So he just flew his drone into the volcano just for fun.
Right. Sorry, everybody. I just had to pop up that video there. I was just installing our SN15 video. So that is all on there. Yeah, it just popped up for a second. Sorry, everybody. I was like, oh, crap.
We'll get into that. That's our biggest story this week. It is the one thing with SpaceX is when they do these launches, especially the test launches, they don't know exactly when it's going to happen, so they don't plan their live streams. You can't tune in at a specific time.
Right.
It's literally 2-3 minutes before it goes. They're like, we're live and we're streaming. And I was out working on the greenhouse up here that we finally finished, and all of a sudden my notification pops up, and I immediately sat down in the shade and watched this, and I was giggling like a little child, praying that this one would actually stick the landing.
Yeah. And I have not watched this yet, so I'm actually really glad I got this up here.
You have not seen this?
No, I have not seen this one yet.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead and hit play. I'm going to shut up.
It's going right now, so yeah, you're good.
Your reaction live to this, because...
Yeah, so far so good. It's doing a great flight here, just going up into the clouds, it looks like. So far so good. It's getting really cloudy now. It's only about 30 seconds in, but yeah, they don't give you much prep time for these launches. You know, like they get a moment to do it, they're just gonna do it. Oh, that's a nice engine shot. That's a cool view.
From the inside of the
with the you can see the thrusters like redirecting and it's pretty awesome. Oh, there we go.
Now remember, the booster is going to have 27 of those in.
Oh, I know, and there's tons of space. So I mean, it's amazing it can already do it with 3. With 27, it should be a lot more stable. It's just a lot more explosions going on.
Well, 27 is going to be for the booster, so it's carrying a lot more fuel, a lot more weight, and they're going to need it to get into up to orbital altitudes and to just get it off the ground to begin with.
That is so cool to watch, though. Oh yeah. Okay. I can't tell if it's still going up or if it's starting to hover.
Near the end, it starts to shut off some of the engines one by one at specific times, and at its apogee, it hovers there for a few seconds before finally
that's kind of where I think we're at right now. I think it's at the hover stage. It doesn't look like it's really going anywhere. It's just kind of chilling there for a minute.
It's mainly designed just to test its stability and make sure that,
the camera is frozen.
Yeah, there were some issues with some of the shots, unfortunately.
The timer is moving, but nothing seems to be changing on screen.
Again, you're dealing with a lot of vibrations, a lot of signal issues, which
I can't even imagine what you're dealing with camera-wise.
But you do get some good footage as it gets closer, and then once it breaks through that cloud layer, you get the footage from the ground, and you see the landing.
Yeah, I think we're still hovering there, surprisingly. Wow. That's just chilling there. It's just like, hey guys, this is where I'm gonna be now. This is what I do. Oh, maybe they shifted it. I think it's starting to.
Oh, you'll know. You'll see when it does the belly flop.
I was like, I don't know. Maybe something bumped the camera. That was weird. Let's see, is that? Oh, no. Oh, they're just changing to a different side of the camera. I see. It's kind of cool. You can see the clouds and everything. It's just kind of hanging out there. We are at the 3-minute mark, 3:10. Huh. Well, that's interesting. I wish it would show us the rocket part again, the inside, but it's not.
Oh, just wait.
Is the camera frozen again?
Might be. What timestamp are you at?
3:40 now.
I've got it pulled up on mine, the same, so I can see. Yeah, the camera did freeze there for a bit.
I think it's frozen because it doesn't look like anything's moving, but it's really hard to tell. I mean, the clock is clicking. There we go. Yeah, so now we're falling. Yeah, we missed a bunch because the cameras were frozen.
Yeah, you're seeing the engine.
Because now we're free falling. It's twisted. It's turned. It's done its belly flop.
And that's why that one engine fired there briefly in it gimbal, just to get it into the horizontal position to fall. And so yeah, you see it the video twitches a little bit.
It is pretty glitchy this time. Usually
Um,
they're a little better than... Oh, there we go.
it might have been cloud cover issues. I'm not entirely sure. Then they switched to
The
the,
side
you
put,
can
yeah.
see, some of the venting. That camera has changed. It gets angled right now because I believe that's
To
attached
the
to
fin?
one of the
Yeah.
fins. So as those move to keep it stable, the camera's moving a little bit,
Huh.
which, I mean, it's a good place to put a camera so you can see most of the rocket instead of being right up against the fuselage.
So
But I think we're
now...
getting
Yeah, we're
close.
at like the
Five, I think
5.
it's a little after six that you find it landing.
About to break through the
So,
clouds, I
so you're
think.
seeing venting. You're also seeing some of those just, they're basically like contrails coming off
Mm-hmm.
of an airplane at that
Right.
altitude.
Makes
But shortly
sense.
it'll flip to the ground camera, and that's when you can actually see the landing. And it was pretty exhilarating to watch.
We're getting
I think I'm at pretty
close.
much the same timestamp as
You see
you.
the engines
540.
readjusting. Oh, and then the two of them have fired now. Yeah,
All
there you
right.
go.
Yep.
Here it comes.
And there it goes.
Yeah, it's so cool that you can see the engine shot this time. The actual thrusters. Hooray!
And
Yay! Successful landing!
you're about to see it just
Awesome.
sitting right there.
Yep. That's so cool. That worked flawlessly. That was pretty good. No explosions,
Yeah.
no blow ups. Well
It was
done.
a perfectly nominal
Well
flight.
done.
SpaceX finally nailed it. It looks like 17, SN17 is probably going to be the next
Cool.
one to go.
Mm.
I did see a tweet earlier that they something about it. Maybe 17 might be scrapped. Like maybe they have enough data. They're going to go to the one after that. I'm not
Wow.
sure.
Okay.
But they're still working on a lot of manufacturing there. They're building a new tower, which some are speculating it's going to have arms that will actually reach out to contain the booster when the
Oh.
booster lands.
Oh, wow.
Because the
Cool.
booster they want to land right back on the launch pad so they can feel it and go up
Right, right,
again.
right.
But it has to be very accurate. They showed they could be accurate with the last Starlink mission when they landed smack
Yeah.
dab in the
Yeah.
center. Um, but there are some sketches and some people trying to figure out exactly what they're building. But it looks like it might be some tower
Hmm.
yeah,
Like a
to grab
refueling
onto the
arm or
booster
whatever
as it
kind of
lands,
thing. That's pretty
so that
cool.
it'll land exactly where it needs to be. Maybe shifted a foot or two,
Right.
and launch it back. So
Huh.
we're going to keep an eye out for that. The booster is one of the boosters. I think is pretty much fully constructed.
Right.
Um, but we're getting closer.
That is
I
so
think we
cool.
could see an orbital flight this summer,
Yeah.
which would be very, very
Yeah.
cool.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
crossing my fingers. I don't care what time it is. I'm going to go live when they do the first orbital
Yeah, you
flight.
totally need to.
Hopefully, depending on when it is, we can both get on there.
Oh yeah.
But that's going to be a monumental flight, especially again,
Right.
a we're talking a what like 30 something foot wide
Right.
booster,
At least.
a few hundred feet
Yeah.
tall,
Jeez.
probably one of the most powerful rockets ever built by humanity.
At least.
27 of those engines that you
Jeez.
saw, those
Yeah, we only
4,
saw 3 in this one.
27 of those
27.
taking off the noise is going to be
I can't wait to
ridiculous.
see that one.
The power behind that to lift all of this into orbit,
It's gonna be
I'm really
amazing.
so
I'm seriously cannot wait. So
again,
excited.
SpaceX is doing it.
Oh yeah, love the SpaceX videos. Never a dull moment in their world, unfortunately. uh, okay, so changing topics again here. We're gonna talk about this new Windows widget, which is not new, but it kind of is. If you guys may have gotten this on your computer, I want to blame this for us being late last week because I think this was part of the update that I got stuck in. Um, that like literally bogged the hell of my computer down, unfortunately. But then I did get it back up and working. So this is what they're calling just a normal interest and News Widget. Stupid name. It's not even a name. It's like a definition. But you'll find it in your taskbar here. Let me see if I can do a screen capture and show you guys what I'm talking about here. Add source, add source. Sorry about this crazy window of doom here. But this should help a little bit here. So down here in the corner, you'll see this little sunny 58 degrees. That's my temperature outside. If I hold over this, it pops up this interests in local weather stuff, which is weird. I noticed this the other day. Apparently this is new, and if you do your Windows update, you'll get this. This is the notification that they gave for just to kind of let people know that that was happening. And this came out last month, apparently, and they started pushing the update out for select groups of people. This is something every Windows computer technically has had since really Windows XP. When you could add widgets to your desktop, you always kind of had a sidebar, which in Vista they tried to bring out the sidebar, and they actually made it permanent. Ugh. And then
yeah, they did not want you to get rid of the sidebar in Vista. You had to go jump through like 8 hoops and.
Yeah. Because even if you disabled it, it was still running in the background. So you had to go into your task manager and completely kill sidebar as a running task. And then your machine would like relieve all of those settings that were literally just telling you the weather and like your CPU and memory usage and stupid stuff you didn't even need.
Who actually uses these sidebars though? I mean, I'm sure some people do. Like my Mac has.
Yeah, you have it on your Mac. Yep, they've had it.
The weather, the calendar, the time, top stories, stocks, all that. But I've never used that at all.
And really,
I have weather notifications on my phone. Yeah. I have a clock. I have a calendar. I have my watch. Never used it on a computer. I don't know. I'm sure
I want to say this is Windows' way of trying to be more touch-friendly with their widgets and a little more customizable, because you can actually say, like I did, it gives you a huge list of, you know, like I don't really want to see a bunch of sports. I'm trying to look at like technology and science and stuff. So I tried to collaborate with the options they had available. And so when I click on my little thing or hover over it, it should tell me more science-related things, which is probably why Bill Gates was popping up in New York Times and LA Times and stuff like that. Were popping up the science articles and things, which is great. That's what I want. So it gives you this customization. Plus, it isn't slowing my computer down at all. In fact, I have no idea how it's running. It gives me no option of turning it off, as far as I can tell. I haven't dove into the Windows settings to try to figure out where this is. I'm sure it's somewhere in the appearance or display setting. Or it might even be under the task manager setting. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is on the Microsoft website that I'm sharing with you on the screen here. This is kind of describing what it is and how you can use it and what it's supposed to be used for. And if you have like a yoga device or a Windows tablet, I think this is perfect for you. For desktop people like me, it's getting in the way. It seems kind of clunky. I want to turn it off. Like, if I want news, I'll open my browser and go to Firefox or something, you know. And
probably gonna get more out of than on a desktop. That would make some sense.
Yeah. So I don't hate it. It does give you an option to give feedback. If you click on it, on the upper right-hand corner, there's like 3 little dots. If you click on those, there's an option for feedback. You can tell them that you love it, you hate it, change it, don't change it, whatever. They love feedback, and Microsoft has actually been really good about trying to listen to what people are liking and not liking about their stuff, and trying to update and change things based on, you know, if they did use a feature, they didn't use a feature. And that feedback feature has actually been around since, I want to say Windows 7 actually had a feedback feature. And then Windows 8 and 8.1 and 10 and all the new 10s. Since I don't think they're going to change 10 anytime soon here. I think 10 is just going to be constantly updated like XP, and they might just jump to 20 or something. I don't know. I think they're going to drop Windows completely at some point.
Probably stay like that for a while. It's similar to what I think OS X has been doing. Right. Just, you know,
I mean, why?
Improving
why?
on at this point. It's not broke, don't fix
it. Exactly. So yeah.
Minor cosmetic is that sort of thing, but that's the only thing is just did it really have to do the updates at that time last week?
No, it really didn't. It really didn't, and it didn't.
Oh, and then Firefox had to update for you
Yeah.
too. I remember
Yep.
that.
I got done, and then I finally got back to my desktop, and I go to click on the browser, and it's like I got to update, which really took about 5 seconds. So thankfully, that was a really fast one. But yeah, I'm done with updates. If I had Java and Flash installed, Lord knows they would have needed updates as well. So it's a good thing I don't have them installed anymore. And if you have them installed, please remove them from your computers. There's really no need for them anymore unless you're doing Flash coding and Java coding. You don't need them.
No.
So delete them. Anyway, our last topic, I think, is kind of Moderna. I just used the same image because it's easy to use. Anyway, Michigan. Michigan finally got to 50% of the population
55.
with one shot of any of the ones available, which is awesome. So cool. Congratulations, Michigan. That's a huge step in the right direction. We desperately needed to get there, I think, as fast as possible. And we're not even all the way done. That's only half. That's only one shot. So technically, we need to get to 100% of that 50% vaccinated fully, which I don't think is going to be hard to do, especially with Pfizer literally right in Michigan.
Most people, the majority are good. If they're going to get one shot, they're going to get both. Yeah. That's just guaranteed. Yep. Unfortunately, some of the vaccination rates have dropped a bit. Yeah. That does mean that we won't have a shortage.
No shortages.
Still, it was the first milestone in Governor Whitmer's plan for reopening Michigan. Yep. I love that it's called the Back to Normal.
Back to normal. I love it.
That I love. 55%. With one shot is the first bit that allows workers that have previously been required to work from home. They can now return to the offices.
Right.
So,
right. Yep.
Tech centers, call centers,
yep. All that stuff.
Anything like that, where if you could work from home, you were required to. Obviously, the service sector that doesn't work because you can't really make pizzas or sell auto parts from home. It doesn't.
I mean, you kind of can.
Or stop
here in Michigan, there's ways around it, but it doesn't. Not really very well.
It's a milestone, and I think that's a good way to get people to kind of give them an incentive to get vaccinated.
Absolutely.
Is the more we get vaccinated, the closer we can get to having things happen. If we can hit, I think it's 65%, then some of the restrictions on indoor gatherings are going to be lifted, concert venues. And
I think she said 75 or 85% with one vaccine shot. She will the masks will disappear at that point. You won't need masks at all. It's something like that. That's technically herd immunity at that point. So that's pretty much why you don't need a mask anymore.
One for a while. Going in until those numbers get even higher, and at least until we see the Michigan numbers. If we're maybe down to 20 new cases a day or something, then I might be willing to back off on the mask a bit, but not right away. I know many people, even now.
I think the only reason why I'm so ready to ditch the mask is that I have to wear it at work for 50 some hours a week, and my ears, they hurt so bad. And I'm sure you can see I have a little nose mark, which I don't think is ever going to go away now. It will always be from the mask. It doesn't go away. It doesn't hurt or anything, but it's like a little skin bump that just, ever since I had to start wearing the masks. And, people complain constantly, and I still wear my mask, even though I'm in pain from it. But whatever. I mean, if it's going to help me. And hey, I haven't gotten a cold or a flu or anything in about a year, so I'm actually really happy about that. That is kind of nice.
Early on, when people would come in not wearing masks, you get an immediate visceral reaction, and just what the hell are you doing? And now that the vaccination rates are going up, numbers are dropping, and that I'm vaccinated, when I do see someone without it, I don't get as upset because I'm like, okay, it's the same people are going to keep doing this, but I feel a lot more safe now. it helps a little bit, but we still need to get those rates
We
up.
got to get them up. I mean,
There
there's
was
really no excuse. If you've got
the FDA
questions,
did approve,
ask your
I
pharmacist.
think Pfizer and
Yeah.
Moderna for 12 to 15 year
Yes,
olds for
that
emergency
is true.
use. And it looks like by the end of the week, we'll get an answer from the CDC on whether or not they're going to recommend it. I'm pretty sure they
I'm
will.
sure they will.
And
I would doubt
they
it.
are already doing clinical trials for infants 6 months and
And I
up.
think pregnant women as
Uh,
well, but I don't know.
they've shown that it's perfectly safe for pregnant
Oh,
women already.
did they already
So
say that? I wasn't
again,
sure. I'm sorry. I hadn't heard that.
that's really good, especially if we can get a lot of these kids vaccinated before they go back to
Right.
school. That's going to help prevent another wave from that.
Oh man.
And we've got several months. So I think going into the school year, we're going to be in a lot better shape, and we're not going to see another, what, fourth or fifth wave
No.
from the kids.
No.
And
I would
even
be
if some
really
of the kids
surprised.
did contract
I
it,
think there's enough
even if the
smart
kids did
thinking
spread it,
Michiganders out there that want to get vaccinated fully 100% so that way they
yeah,
don't have to worry about this anymore. We can go back to at least a mostly normal, we still want to be washing our hands and keeping ourselves clean and trying to keep some distance. I mean, I know we're going to be back to concerts and cramming people into buildings and stuff in no time. And that's what worries me. I've always hated that. It's always been I've always wondered why we're such a smart race, but we don't try to keep ourselves from immediate dangers like viruses and bacteria. I mean, my history of being almost killed by something invisible has definitely changed my perspective on how I look at social situations. It's one reason why you almost never see me in one unless it's extremely controlled and I know everybody there. And that's how that goes. So, hence work or family situations and stuff. Otherwise, I'm very different. I try, I'm not as outward and social and giggling and happy. I'm very quiet and I keep to myself. I'm not touching anything unless I'm going to buy it. And that's just pretty much how I'm in, I'm out. I know what route I'm going to take through the store. And, like that's literally how I do my stuff. I do a whole roadmap of where I'm going to drive and stuff just so I don't have to be out longer than I have to be exposing myself to anything. And I was doing stuff like this before COVID, and then COVID hit, and people are like, oh my gosh, I can't do it. My lives have changed. I'm like, I was living like this literally for like
okay.
almost a decade of my life.
I'm
It's
sorry.
not hard. It's really, you just get used to it. It's nothing. It's just like brushing your teeth and washing your hair. You get used to doing that after a while, and you want to. That's how washing your hands should be, and keeping your distance and not touching absolutely every surface when you go into a store and you're not going to buy anything. Like what are you doing? You're just leaving your residue everywhere you go, and that's not right. So anyway, I'm happy that at least Michigan has been smart enough to jump on this vaccine bandwagon and trust
Yeah, we're getting
Pfizer,
up.
trust Moderna, because I mean, there's nothing. This is not new science. We've had these mRNA vaccines for a while, and we finally got a chance for all the companies put their differences aside and work together with not with a profit in mind, I should add as well, not looking at a profit margin. They were just trying to save people. That's why you need this. Okay, it has nothing to do
And
with
hey,
anybody making money.
even even the hackers didn't want to interfere. So
Yeah, if that shows you anything, if hackers don't want to interfere with the vaccine, maybe you should get it. Okay, that just makes
because
more sense.
honestly, if it were all fake, if it were all a hoax, you'd think they would be clamoring
Thank
to
you.
get the data to prove it.
Yes, absolutely.
When the hackers that hold data from massive
There you
companies
go.
for
There
ransom
you go.
are saying, you know what, we're going to let that one be so that they can do their job. That's a good sign. That's another sign that points towards, despite, including, all of the
Right.
science that
Right.
proves these are safe and these are
Right.
effective. When people who would probably have a lot of
Oh
stake
yeah.
in proving them are letting them work, then that's another sign that it's real. It works.
Absolutely.
It,
Yeah. So
it, it's the whole thing of if your vote didn't count, why are they trying to keep you from voting? It's the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or
This is it.
or the NASA hoax.
The
How do you
NASA
get
hoax. Oh.
thousands and thousands of employees to not have one single whistleblower? It's all real. It's all science. Get your vaccine. Wash your hands. Wear a mask. Come on, people.
It's really not that hard. And soon things will be back to normal, and we will be forgetting all about this and this whole vaccine thing. Well, maybe not forgetting all about it. I should say learning deeply from this, and really affecting society, hopefully in a positive way. I feel like our cities have been, at least the one, Grand Rapids anyway, I feel like has cleaned up a little bit. I don't see as much trash out there. They've been doing more like cleaning and sweeping and trying to just pick things up a little bit more. And that's huge. I even see this in stores and stuff still. I mean, they're still wiping things down and sanitizing everything and cleaning things. This just needs to become a normal thing. This should have been what we were doing from day one. I mean, if you go to Japan, they do this day in, day out. They even have robots that do this for them. So
everybody has a
this isn't very hard.
Which I think we're going to see that happen even in later years. Yeah. Once flu season hits, a lot of people are going to pull out their masks from the year before and
start wearing it.
I will. Yeah. Get the vaccine, wear a mask if I'm going into a store. Why not?
I mean, what's the hurt?
We saw what happened.
Yep. It's not hurting
drastically reduced cases.
Might as well.
Flu, like 17, like it was like either 12 or 17 different respiratory illnesses I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of illnesses out there. When you get a cold or a bug, it's not the exact same strand as something else, but at least a dozen in New Zealand were basically eradicated this year because they locked down hard.
Yeah, they did.
And they haven't had a single case of any of these illnesses, of any of these viruses. So it shows, masks did work.
Vaccines
plus
do work.
Plus sanitizing and cleaning.
Lockdown did
all
work.
All of the things that we can do can help each year to keep all of this under control. So, again, proud of Michigan for at least stepping up. You wouldn't think it like that when you read the comments on an MLive article.
Right.
Because every day I see an article on COVID and I think, don't read the comments. And what do? I open the comments and then I shake my head. But that's the most vocal people. Yeah. They're always going to be out there saying something, but it is a very small cross-section of the population, I believe. Because most of us, like, I don't interact in the comments anymore because it's not really worth it.
Right.
Because I'm not going to be able to change anybody's mind. So the majority of the people that are paying attention, that are getting vaccinated, that are doing the right thing, you just don't hear about.
So Miss Ayal has posted a comment stating that he normally gets sick all the time, which I do remember you pretty much being sick about every 3 months to 6 months with something, a cold or allergies or something. And then you started wearing your mask and now you're not sick at all. And so thank you for that amazing correlation there, because that's literally kind of how this works. That's exactly what they did in the what you were just stating with the lockdowns and all that stuff. I mean, it all had a point, and I understood how crappy it was for everybody. I'm actually way worse off because of the lockdown. I am definitely no better for it, other than I am not sick with COVID. So I'm definitely happy about that. And I definitely want to give 2 thumbs up, because in that part it was extremely successful. I easily could have gotten this very easily, and now I have the vaccines and I am totally okay. Not that I can still get it, but at least I know now I have a 99% chance I won't die from it. So that's great, and that's amazing.
It isn't necessarily just the mask, obviously. Right. If a virus is airborne,
yes.
Remember, COVID is on those droplets.
Yes, the droplets,
so it's
not
technically
just
an airborne virus, which is why the masks help protect other people if you have it. That's the thing. The mask protects you, it protects others, not you, because you can still contract it wearing a mask. But if everybody wears one, it works. But it's the same with many other illnesses as well. The mask is still going to create some sort of barrier. Right. If you're wearing an N95, that's even better.
Gosh,
and I see a lot of people wearing those. And not everybody's going out as much. They haven't been crowded. Right. We've been washing our hands a lot more. Places have been sanitizing. It is a group
just
effort.
keep it up.
The masks
I mean,
are a massive part of
again,
it, and I really hope to see a lot of people wearing them next flu season. I really do. I'm going
if you
to.
have to throw a mask away, please find a trash receptacle, okay? Or a recycling bin. Most of
Leave it
them are
on.
just decomposable within 100 years anyway, but don't throw it out a window or just out in a parking lot. I'm
I
so
see so
tired of
many on
that.
the road before, and it's just
If you have to dispose of it,
I
find a trash can,
or
just
get a
like everything else.
reusable. I have one of my old teachers makes masks at home. They're
Oh,
double,
nice.
triple
Yep.
layer. They're fitted. Some of them
Ooh,
even have
fitted.
they even have a little inset for the nose
Oh,
wire.
yes.
Um, they're good size. They fit perfectly well over an
Right,
N95 if you want to wear
right,
both, like at work. I don't want to wear just an
right.
N95 because I'm around a bunch of flour and pizza
Oh, God, you
grease,
poor thing.
and if that thing gets too dirty,
You won't be able to
it's
breathe
done.
at all.
So put the N95 on, put the cloth mask over
Yeah,
that,
that would be okay.
it
That would help.
and it's
Right.
comfortable. I can still breathe through all of those
Oh,
layers.
absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's just the fact that that M95 can easily get clogged with that the flour dust is so fine.
Yeah,
It's just
and
and it sticks
and
to
I don't want
everything.
it to get covered in grease or
Yeah,
anything as
grease
well
doesn't help
because
either. Yeah.
you have to keep very clean. You can only use them for a short period of time. They're not really
Oh yeah,
washable.
no, very much not. Which is sad. I mean, but then again, I mean, I have a couple of washable ones, and I've just been using those. We do have surgical ones at work that we can wear. My problem is I
Mhm.
sweat a lot. It's so hot, and the surgical ones just instantly get wet, and I just have to
Oh,
constantly
they
change
soak
them out.
everything up.
So I swap out my washable ones. So when that one gets wet, I'll swap it out with another one, and then back and forth, and I'll just keep cleaning them and cleaning them. Same stuff,
There was a
easy enough to clean. So no big deal.
there was a post on Facebook of looking back a year ago of the crazy shit we saw in stores.
Oh my god,
And
yeah.
like you'd see someone with a clear plastic bucket over their head,
Yeah.
or um, some guy had a mask with hoses that went up to a car's air
Yes.
filter.
Yeah, I do
The
remember
best thing I
seeing that
saw
one.
though was a guy in full scuba gear with the tank pushing a shopping cart.
Oh, so funny. I don't know if I could take it anymore. These people. I know we're
I'll
all
see if
ready
I
for
can
this
find a
to
link
end.
and share that.
I'm
So
sorry, say again?
I'll see if I can find a link and share
Oh,
that
yeah.
later on. Put it on our Twitter or
Oh, my
something. But
God.
yeah, he's wearing a full wetsuit and scuba gear, pushing a shopping cart from last year, and it was quite entertaining to see that.
Oh, man. Well, I know we kind of hit on a bunch of different topics today. I want to say thank you again for Miss Ayel for shouting out to us. And we covered a bunch of topics. If you guys had any comments, anything you wanted to talk about or comment on, or maybe we need to hit on in the main episode, like the hacking and the pipeline or Windows widgets or anything like that, let us know. The SN15 rocket, maybe. We could go over that too. So let us know what you guys want to see. Drop us a couple of comments. Thank you for tuning in. If you did watch it today, if this was your first time, definitely don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that way you can get updates on all of our live feeds and new episodes. And again, the more comments you guys leave, and the more we will be posting for you guys. So definitely keep us up to date and let us know what's going on in your world, and we will definitely do our best to keep you up to date every Wednesday. But anyway, I am Will, and I think that was all we had for you today, guys. Was there anything else that we needed to share today, Andrew? I can't remember. I think that was everything.
I was about to say, I thought you forgot my name there for a
No,
second.
you're good.
But
I was like, wait a
we're
minute. I
good.
was like, let me see if you wanted to say something before we left.
I think we did a lot. Audio sounded good all this time too,
Yes, I
so I
think we
think we
finally
got that
fixed
figured
that.
out. Everybody.
Hooray!
So finally, after 9
Oh.
episodes.
Awesome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully we all learned something new together, and I will see you all next time. Take it easy, everybody.